Tom Aspinall has been living a great moment. Ciryl Gane is a great fighter. He's experienced, he's seasoned.
Tom is really good. Ciryl is much faster than his other opponents.
Tom Aspinall, I think until proven otherwise, he's the guy.
Hard to predict, but Ciryl Gane is very good too.
I would say Tom Aspinall. I think maybe TKO, ground the pound.
Aspinall, he can do that.
Tom Aspinall, submission, first couple rounds.
Tom Aspinall, phenomenal heavyweight, great athlete, decision.
Ooh, I got Tom Aspinall in that one. It's heavyweight, so someone's getting knocked out. And if I think Tom's winning, then I guess I think Gane's getting knocked out.
So when you look at all these keys to victory, I'm going with Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall hits too hard. His punches, one thing I didn't bring up is that I'm sure he hits very hard, but we don't talk about the accuracy. He's always accurate when he goes, bah, bah, bah. It's always the 2 down the pipe. He's always accurate. And 3, he can strike, he can wrestle, and he understands where he needs to be at when it comes to the jiu-jitsu part of the game.
I'm going to go Tom in this fight just because the momentum's crazy, man. The way he's been finishing guys. Yeah, and I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy, because styles make fights. Just because John dispatched Ciryl easily doesn't mean it's going to be the same with Tom. But again, Tom can bridge that gap, and that speed with the fucking mass he has behind it is a dangerous weapon. I like Gane, I like his style. I just want to see a good fight, and I think it's going to be a fucking high-level mixed martial arts heavyweight fight. This is what we're going to see in this fight. It's going to be the highest. This is the baddest man on the planet, like title, isn't it? The heavyweight guy is always the baddest man on the planet. So this is for the belt. And Gane is also a former champion. Fuck interim, he's a former champion, so he's tasted it before. He knows the feeling, so I know he wants that again. But man, it's gonna be a fucking hard job getting it away from Tom.
And Tom's got the athleticism and he's got the speed, and I do think he gets the takedown, and I do think he gets the stoppage. It's a 5-round affair. I don't think Ciryl Gane is no punk. I am not underestimating him, and I'm sure that Tom Aspinall isn't. I'm sure that he's going to be a credible threat. I know he's going to land some shots, and it's going to be an entertaining fight. I don't necessarily see this as being one-way traffic the way that Tom has dealt with all his other opponents. I don't see it being a John Jones type finish either. That's not a diss on Tom Aspinall. I just think that Ciryl will have learned from the loss to John Jones and realised, also Francis Ngannou, and realised that he's got some shortcomings and some gaps to fill, some holes in his game. So it's going to be harder for Tom. But ultimately, I still think that Tom Aspinall gets it done. It will be a stoppage, probably a submission. In fact, no, I'm going to say, if you want to put your bet on by way of finish, I will say a ground and pound finish.
Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane.
It's tricky. I think Cyryl's going to make it look a bit ugly, but then Tom will just clip him with something. He's very technical for a heavyweight.
There's that John Jones shadow. I feel it took a little off Tom.
Just made it look so easy. It took a lot of steam off Ciryl.
Tom's just got this different thing in him. Average fight time of like 1.5 minutes. There's just like a natural suddenness to everything he lands on people.
With Tom versus Ciryl Gane, there's so much pressure on Tom. And this is why. Because not only does Tom have to fight this monster, right? Ciryl Gane's a fucking monster, so athletic. Obviously has a lot of holes in his game, but on the feet, the dude can fucking strike. Not only do you have to beat the #1 contender, but you have to do it more impressively than John Jones did. That's the pressure Tom Aspinall is against. Winning, if you win by decision, it's disaster. If it gets dragged out into the 3rd, 4th round, disaster. Tom Aspinall's challenge this weekend, because again, not his fault, but because he hasn't faced the toughest competition, the marker here is win. Of course, dude, you're heavily favored. No. Of course you got to win. You have to do it more impressively than John Jones did, because this is the only opponent you guys have in common. So not only do you have to beat the #1 ranked heavyweight in the world, but you have to do it under 2 minutes and not get touched. And go. Talk about pressure.
Gane, very safe striker. Doesn't fully commit with big shots all the time. He picks his shots. How does that work against Tom Aspinall? He's one of the most explosive guys. Like, he's the fastest heavyweight I've ever seen. And I think he just blitzes straight through Gane, to be quite honest, whether it's a takedown or even with the strike.
I believe that Aspinall does have the advantage, though, in that the grappling department. I believe that whenever he wants to, he'll be able to put Ciryl on his back, and he may not have to, but I believe he can if he does have to, and I believe that'll be the difference if it gets out of the first round. I'll go with Aspinall.
We finally got Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Chill, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chill, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Ciryl Gane plus 265.
I'm a fan of Ciryl Gane as well. I just feel like Tom Aspinall is the next generation of the same thing we saw the likes of John Jones doing in terms of the dominant fashion that he took over his division. I feel like the same thing is going to happen with Tom Aspinall. That style at heavyweight is unseen. Ciryl Gane has a little bit of a bounce to him as well. I just don't think he's got the same snap and power that Tom Aspinall has, as well as the ground game as well. Although you probably won't see it in this fight, I feel like he could get a knockout in this fight.
It's a tough fight, Tom is a complete fighter, but I do feel like he's fought a lot of aggressive guys, and I think Gane is a guy who's going to do a lot of movement. He's going to be a little more cautious and just moving around a lot. It might frustrate Tom, so first, second, third round, maybe Tom can't find Ciryl Gane, so I think it's going to be a different fight. We'll see.
Ciryl Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
I don't see that fight getting out of the first round. Right. I think Tom is phenomenal. I think he's absolutely the best heavyweight we've ever seen in the UFC. I said to him, it sucks to win the belt that way, to be the champion this way, that no one's going to remember that in 3 fights' time. They're just going to remember what you've done and that you are the champion of the world and you're the best in the division, and that's it.
You give him the one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight for right now. But sometimes you're playing chess. And I admire the guys that can do that. I admire the guys that can stand back, look at the board, not think about what's right now, think about what could be. Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall. According to Ciryl Gane, he just did an interview, they tried to make this fight 4 times. And for rankings and for the integrity of our rankings, I get it.